Hi guys, welcome back to Sass and Salt. Today I wanted to do a little something special. I have recently gotten into tofu, so I wanted to make some lettuce wraps today for you guys. And it's going to be a meatless Monday. I'm going to get started with the tofu. I've experimented a little bit with some different brands, but in the research that I found for these particular lettuce wraps, I thought that extra firm would be better. This is what I got. It's organic, just because I thought that this one was a better option than the other one at Walmart. So in order to get this tofu ready to go and ready to cook, it is in a liquid. I don't know if you can hear it. It's suspended in a liquid, so what you have to do is press it out. This is what it looks like out of the package. It's firm, kind of smushy. So all we're going to do is lay it on some paper towels. And I have some Pyrex dishes here that I just use for really my lunches. And we're going to do this, and then I like to take another one because we are trying to get all of the water out of these that we can. So we'll wrap it really good, and then I'm going to put it in this dish. And then I have a second one that I'm going to place on top. And you can just put whatever you can in it on top of it. So essentially what we're doing is we're pressing all of that liquid out of it, and to make it more flavorful, we're going to marinate it. So the power of television or editing, this is what I have. I just cut the pieces here in little sheets, I guess you would call that. And then I poured just some simple soy sauce over it. And we just let it marinate. It's probably been marinating for about an hour now. And I'm going to hold on to the liquid that's in there. And we're going to use that in our dish, so no need to waste it. Okay, so what we're going to do next is I am going to chop these into small pieces. And in order to do that, I took the brick and I just made some small planks like this. And in order to make them into cubes, you make smaller planks and then turn that over, and then you make cubes. And you can make these as big as you want. You can leave them sliced if you want it to do that. It's your choice. You can do whatever you want. This is about the size that I'm looking for. This is what I like. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of this, and then we'll get cooking. All right, guys, we are going to start. I am using my stainless steel wok. It's pretty heavy duty. I'm heating it up. I have a little bit of avocado oil at the bottom of this. It's just really to get the onions going. Since I'm using tofu and not actual meat, I just wanted a little bit of fat to get things working. So I think we're good here on the heat. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in my onions. And this is a half an onion. To get these onions rolling, I'm going to go ahead and put a little salt on them. And what that does is it pulls out the liquid in them so they cook faster. So we'll go ahead and get a little salt on that. I'm going to put a lot actually, freshly ground black pepper. And we'll give that a stir. And we are just going to cook these onions until they begin to get translucent. Like, they're not done yet, but at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and add in, we're gonna do 2 cloves of garlic that I have here. And then I also have a blob of, I have a blob of ginger, the squeezable ginger that I buy in a jar because I go through it so often, it's just easy to use. But if you're following the recipe, it calls for a 1-inch knob of ginger that you peel and then chop very fine. I personally like the consistency of this. It blends better instead of getting a chunk of ginger. And that's just my preference, but do what you want. So I'm gonna add this to our onions. and get that cooking. So with the wok, since it is a high heat, you want to keep your food moving. We don't want it to burn, but we want it to cook. So just keep moving it around the pan. I'm gonna go ahead and add my tofu, because essentially we're just warming it. We don't have to cook tofu. But if you're doing meat, you're gonna want to add your meat in and get that browned up. And you want to be gentle when you're stirring this. We don't want to break up the tofu. It is extra firm, but you can't go in there manhandling it. So just give it a few turns. And then we'll let that cook down. While the tofu is getting warm and cooking the rest of the onions fully, we have our sauce. I'm gonna go ahead and pour this into our dish here. And this will also color your dish. Tofu, let's face it, it's really not pretty. So this adds a little color to it. Maybe makes it a little bit meat-like. If you're weird about meatless Mondays. All right. See the consistency? It gets everything really creamy. We will let this hang out and kind of get all saucy together. Okay, we have a nice bubble going on here, so I'm going to go ahead and add, this is a whole can, a whole 8-ounce can of sliced water chestnuts that I've just chopped into fine little pieces. And for color, make it pretty, and of course flavor, I'm sprinkling in some fresh green onions. I tasted this and it needed a little bit more salt and pepper. You should always taste your food for seasoning, because how do you know what it tastes like if you don't try it? So we'll get that combined, and these are done. I'm gonna let these cool off a little bit while I go and prep our lettuce cups. Okay, so while our tofu mixture is cooling down a little bit, we want to let it cool down, because if we put it in a cold lettuce cup, it'll kind of wilt it, and then no one likes wilted food. So what I like to use for these, it's called butter lettuce, or it's also called bib lettuce. Opening it up, look how cute. It's just so cute, this little butter lettuce. So a couple of these are wilted, so I'll go ahead and take these first leaves off here. But it's just so beautiful. Look how pretty it is. And these make great lettuce cups because they're naturally, it's just, look, it looks like a little cup already. So we're going to peel these off and be gentle with them. It's a very gentle leaf. See, look at the perfect little cup. I love these. I'm going to do 4 for myself, so I'm just going to clean. I would only clean what you're going to use, and what you don't use, just leave whole and put it back in your fridge in the container, and that way it'll stay fresh for you. So that's enough on that. I'm going to go ahead and put this back in the fridge, and all I'm going to do with these little delicate leaves is give them a rinse, and then put them on some paper towels and let them dry upside down. It's time to eat. So I've taken my lettuce cups here. I've placed them so diligently here on our lovely platter, and I'm going to go ahead and plate. So I'm using a teaspoon here, but you just want to put the filling in the middle. You want to make sure that you're not filling it too much, so that you're able to close the lettuce cup and actually eat it. I just chopped up some peanuts here, and we're going to sprinkle them on. We'll put extra for the plate, make it look pretty. And then I have some green onions here, just to add a little freshness. And there you go. For those of you who like a little spice in your life, like me, this is my favorite condiment. I put it on all kinds of things. Ramen, tacos, lettuce cups, anything. I love this stuff. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit more. You don't have to use it, but if you like it, go for it. I think it just brings a pop of color also to your lettuce cups. Okay guys, I am going to do a little taste because I'm starving and my mouth is watering since I've been cooking this. So, cheers to you. Delicious. You get that creaminess of the peanut butter. You have the chew of the tofu. Definitely the spice of the sriracha. The crunch of the water chestnuts and the peanuts. This is a great dish. I highly suggest you try it with the tofu. And if you don't want to be adventurous, I get it. Try turkey, a higher protein meat, something with a little bit less fat. And I think you'll be really happy. Enjoy. So give tofu. Motherfucker!
Give the tofu.
Get a tofu to try! Yeah.
See the red light?
Yeah, I see the red light.
It's recording.